Two mysterious devices just leaked online, and the drone community is absolutely losing their minds. What you're about to see has never been done before by any camera company, and if you're a content creator, these next 8 minutes could completely change how you approach filming in 2026. But here's the catch. One of these devices might never make it to US stores, and the other is so secretive that DJI has been hiding its main feature in every single leak until now. I'm talking about the DJI Pocket 4 and the revolutionary Avata 360. And trust me when I say this, stick around until the end, because the last piece of information I'm going to share will blow your mind about what DJI is actually planning behind closed doors. Let's dive in. The Pocket 4 delay. Alright, let's start with the news that has vloggers and travel creators panicking right now. The DJI Pocket 4, which was supposed to launch before the end of 2025, has been officially delayed. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another boring delay story, here's why this matters more than you think. According to multiple industry sources, the delay isn't because of the camera itself. The actual Pocket 4 hardware is ready to go, fully tested, and apparently mind-blowing. The problem? Accessories. Specifically, quality control issues with the accessories that are supposed to ship alongside the camera. DJI is being extremely cautious here, and honestly, I respect that. They'd rather delay the launch than ship something that doesn't meet their standards. But here's where things get intense. Many creators were hoping DJI would rush this launch before the potential US ban on DJI products took effect, and that deadline just passed, December 23, 2025. The FCC has now added DJI to the covered list, which means new DJI products can no longer receive authorization for sale in the United States. The Pocket 4's delay to January 2026 means it may never officially launch in the US market unless regulations change. Now, we do have some concrete information thanks to an FCC filing that appeared late last year. The document revealed that the Pocket 4 will feature approximately a 20% battery upgrade compared to the Pocket 3, jumping from 1,300 mAh to around 1,545 mAh. That might not sound revolutionary, but for a vlogging camera that you're using all day at events, festivals, or travel destinations, an extra hour or two of battery life is absolutely game-changing. Imagine not having to carry 3 spare batteries in your pocket anymore. The prototype mystery. Now, let me show you where things get absolutely wild. 2 leaked photos surfaced online recently, and they've created more confusion than clarity. What people saw didn't look anything like a pocket camera. In fact, some commenters thought DJI had completely lost the plot and was building something totally different. The images showed 2 separate devices mounted on what appeared to be a professional testing rig. The setup looked industrial, technical, and frankly, nothing like the sleek, compact Pocket 3 that everyone loves. Social media exploded with theories, and I want to break down the 3 main explanations that actually make sense. Theory number 1. DJI is testing 2 completely different Pocket 4 prototypes side by side. This would mean they're still deciding on final features, design choices, or maybe even sensor configurations. Companies do this all the time. Build multiple versions, test them rigorously, and then choose the winner. It's expensive, but ensures the best product reaches consumers. Theory number 2 is more technical and actually more likely. Engineers believe DJI is mounting different lens weights onto the gimbal system to test balance, motor strength, and long-term durability. Here's why this matters. If the Pocket 4 is getting a larger sensor or a variable aperture lens, which the rumors suggest, the weight distribution changes completely. The gimbal motors need to be strong enough to stabilize a heavier lens while maintaining that buttery smooth footage the Pocket series is famous for. Theory number 3 is my personal favorite, and honestly, the most believable. What if that testing rig is actually holding the final Pocket 4 camera, but DJI deliberately wrapped it in tape, covered it with test labels, and disguised its true design to prevent leaks? This is classic spycraft in the tech industry. Companies know that employees will take photos, so they intentionally obscure prototypes to control what information gets out. Here's what supports this theory. If you zoom into those leaked images and really study the details, you'll notice the gimbal motors are significantly larger than the Pocket 3. The arm design looks reinforced and more robust, clearly built to handle additional weight. Even more revealing, the camera block sits further forward on the gimbal arm, which is a telltale design choice when supporting heavier or more complex lens modules. This isn't just speculation, it's engineering logic. DJI wouldn't build a beefier gimbal system unless the camera payload demanded it. Pocket 4, specs and features. So what exactly is DJI packing into this thing? Based on multiple credible leaks and insider reports, we're looking at some absolutely insane upgrades. First up, 6K video recording at 30 frames per second. Let me put that in perspective. The Pocket 3 maxed out at 4K 120 frames per second, which was already impressive. 6K gives you massive room for cropping and reframing in post-production without losing any quality. Some sources also suggest 4K at 120 frames per second for slow-motion capabilities. For vloggers who need to punch in on their footage or create dynamic zoom effects, this is huge. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's strong evidence suggesting DJI is introducing a variable aperture sensor, potentially ranging from f1.8 to f4.0, similar to what we saw on the Osmo Action 6. Why does this matter? Control. You'll be able to adjust depth of field on the fly, maintain sharp focus in bright sunlight, or create beautiful background blur in low light. Most compact cameras force you to work with a fixed aperture, which limits your creative options. A variable aperture puts the Pocket 4 in a completely different league. The rumors also point to full 360-degree panning capability, borrowed from the Osmo Mobile 8 technology. Think about that for a second. You could do smooth, continuous rotation shots without manually repositioning the camera. Time-lapses, panoramic sequences, and dynamic tracking shots just became infinitely easier. This feature alone could justify the upgrade for professional content creators. Additionally, there are whispers about a dual camera setup on a Pro variant, potentially offering optical-like zoom at 2x and 4x magnification. The leaks also suggest a larger 1-inch CMOS sensor with 50-megapixel resolution, upgraded image processing with 10-bit D-Log M-color profiles, and enhanced Active Track 7.0 for better subject tracking. If DJI nails the color science and gives us log profiles with more flexibility, the Pocket 4 could genuinely compete with cameras 3 times its size and price. Avata 360 Bombshell. Now, let's talk about something that's going to completely redefine what's possible with FPV drones. DJI received FCC certification on November 19, 2025 for a new aircraft, and based on all available evidence, this is the Avata 360. And no, this isn't just another FPV drone with slightly better specs. This is something the industry has never seen before. The FCC filing revealed 2 separate model numbers, which typically indicates multiple bundle configurations or different battery options. But what's really turning heads is what happened next. DJI was racing against that December 23rd deadline, trying to get this product certified before the ban took effect. They succeeded in getting FCC approval, but the product never launched in time. As of today, December 23rd has passed, and the FCC has officially added DJI to the covered list, meaning the Avata 360 cannot be sold in the United States unless regulations change dramatically. Here's the revolutionary part that nobody expected. The Avata 360 isn't just an FPV drone, and it's not just a 360 camera drone, it's both, at the same time, in one device. DJI has engineered a hybrid system that can switch between full 360-degree capture mode and traditional FPV flying mode. How? By rotating the gimbal 90 degrees. Let me explain how this works because it's genuinely brilliant. In FPV mode, you have a forward-facing camera that handles all your piloting and records stunning footage. Meanwhile, a second camera stays hidden and inactive. You're flying like you normally would with any FPV drone. Fast, agile, immersive. But when you switch to 360 mode, both cameras activate, pointing up and down to capture your entire environment simultaneously. This explains why early prototype photos confused everyone. People were looking for obvious 360 camera modules and couldn't find them. DJI deliberately designed a rotating gimbal that physically hides the bottom lens by flipping it upward when not in use. It's protected during transport, invisible during FPV flying, and only reveals itself when you need that full spherical capture. This is the kind of innovation that makes me excited about drone technology again, even if US customers might not get to experience it. Avata 360 Deep Dive. Let's talk specs because this is where the Avata 360 goes from interesting to absolutely insane. We're looking at dual 1.1-inch image sensors. For context, that's significantly larger than what most FPV drones use. Larger sensors mean better low-light performance, cleaner footage, and more dynamic range. You're getting cinema-quality image capture in a device that can fly at high speeds through tight spaces. In 360 mode, the Avata 360 can record native 8K video at up to 50 frames per second, significantly faster than competitors like the Insta360 Anti-Gravity A1, which caps at 30 frames per second for 8K. Each lens offers a 180-degree field of view, and DJI is using AI-powered stitching to seamlessly combine them into spherical footage. The result? 8K 360 videos that you can reframe and edit in post-production with unlimited creative freedom. Action sports filmmakers and cinematic FPV pilots would absolutely lose their minds over this capability, if they could actually buy it. Switch to FPV mode, and you're looking at high-quality video recording with excellent photo capability. The 360 system can also capture impressive panoramic stills. That's professional-grade content from a drone that weighs approximately 377 grams. Power and performance have been massively upgraded too. The battery jumps from 31.7 watt-hours on the Avata to 38.67 watt-hours here. That's approximately a 22 to 26% increase, potentially pushing flight times to around 25 minutes, or providing the extra juice needed to power those dual sensors recording 8K footage. DJI is also implementing their O4 transmission system, which means longer range up to 20 kilometers in ideal conditions, more reliable connection, and better image quality. The rumored pricing is approximately 7,488 yuan for a basic kit, which converts to roughly 1,050 to 1,100 US, depending on the exchange rate and bundle. The top-tier Fly More combo is expected around 8,488 yuan, or approximately $1,200. Now, that might sound expensive until you realize you're getting an FPV racing drone and a professional 360 camera in one package. Buying those separately would cost you well over $2,000, and you'd have to carry 2 devices everywhere. The full bundle reportedly includes 3 intelligent flight batteries, a charging hub, spare propellers, and a custom carrying case. Everything is designed to work with DJI's existing ecosystem, including Goggles 3, RC Motion 3, and other FPV accessories, which makes the transition easy for existing DJI FPV users. So here's what we know for certain. The Pocket 4 is delayed, but coming in January 2026 with massive upgrades that will redefine vlogging cameras, though its availability in the United States remains uncertain due to the recent FCC ban. The Avata 360 cleared FCC certification on November 19th and represents the first true hybrid FPV and 360 drone ever created. But it also faces the same regulatory restrictions in the US market. Here's the reality check. On December 23, 2025, the FCC officially added DJI to the covered list. This means new DJI products cannot receive authorization for import or sale in the United States. Your existing DJI gear will continue to work, but accessing new releases like the Pocket 4 and Avata 360 will be extremely difficult or impossible for US customers unless regulatory changes occur. For international viewers, these products should still launch normally in other markets. If you're serious about content creation in 2026 and you're outside the US, these are the devices you need to be watching. For those in the United States, now is the time to voice your concerns to lawmakers if you rely on DJI technology for your work or hobby. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because I'll be covering every update, regulatory development, and eventually the full reviews when these products officially launch in available markets. Drop a comment below and let me know which device you're more excited about, the Pocket 4 or the Avata 360. And if you're in the US, tell me how this ban affects your workflow. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that like button so more creators can discover this information. I'll see you in the next one.